Okay, so it is the distribution is said to be skewed when the mean and median they fall at different points in the distribution, and it can be left skewed or it can be right skewed depending upon the position of the mean and median. And measure of the skewness is nothing but the lack of symmetry of a distribution. So dispersion is nothing but it is the amount of variation, and rather than which says direction, it is not showing about the direction, it is just saying the variation. Skewness tells of the direction of the variation or the departure for the symmetry, how much it is asymmetric, how much it is, which direction it is from left to right or it is from right to left, how it is asymmetric. So types of the skewness. So you are having symmetrical distribution, and it is called symmetric means the left hand side and the right hand side both will look same, or you can say the mean and the median, it will be almost they will fall at the same place. It will be called as the positively skewed when the mean is greater than mode, and it will be called as the negatively skewed when the mean is less than the mode. Okay, so if it is called positively skewed when the mean is greater than mode, and negatively skewed when mean is less than mode. So you can see here, this is the symmetrical. Whatever you are saying, that seeing the left hand side, your right hand side is almost same, and then mean and median both are same only. Okay, but here you can see mean, median, and mode. All the three things are they are converging where in symmetry. Mean, median, and mode. If they are converging, then it is called symmetrical. There is no skewness, or you can say that that it is not skewed. Okay, it is symmetrical distribution. Okay. Now you can say that one data is rightly skewed when you are having, so when it is called the rightly skewed or positively skewed when your mean is greater than mode. Okay, so mean is staying at the right hand side and mode is staying in the left hand side, and mean is greater than the mode. Mean is greater than the mode, it is called the rightly skewed, and it is called leftly skewed when mean is less than the mode. Median will be the central position. Okay, the middle position is the median. No need to worry for the median. So if mean and mode are same, it is called symmetrical. So the where you are having the highest frequency, that is nothing but the average. That is nothing but the symmetric to both sides. But if the mean is greater than mode, then it is called rightly skewed. If mean is less than mode, it is called leftly skewed or left skewed. So the measure of skewness is defined by Sk, and it is nothing but x bar is nothing but the mean minus mode. Difference between mean and mode is called the measure. And the relative measure of skewness, we are having so many different types. One is the Pearson's coefficient and Bowley's coefficient, and based on the movement. So in general, when we are saying the measure of skewness, we used to use the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. This is the most popular. Whenever the skewness concept is coming, means people will talk about the Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Okay, they will not talk about the second one, or they will not talk about the other one. Moments also important, but in general they will talk about the Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Yeah? So we'll see what is the Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Even in your lab part also this thing is there. Okay, Pearson's coefficient of skewness, how to measure, what code you have to write, those things are there. So the coefficient of skewness is defined by, what is that? Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. Mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. However, in practice, it is rather than the value of skewness is it is exceeding the limits of plus minus 1. So, but using, and in general, you know that mode equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. Okay. So if you are replacing all these things, so at that time you can say that it will vary in between plus minus 3. Okay. So it is not going to come for your CAT 1 exam, and in FAT exam, they may ask it very rarely. Okay. But you need to know what is the skewness, what is the positively skewness, what is positively skewed, what is the negatively skewed, or the left skewed, what is the right skewed, and what is the Pearson's coefficient of skewness. And similarly, you are having the Bowley's coefficient of skewness. So here you are having the Q1 is nothing but the first quartile, Q3 is nothing but the third quartile, Q2 is nothing but your median, your middle position, and Q3 minus median is nothing but median minus Q1. The distance is same actually, that you also know. Or you can write, you can take to everything to the left hand side. So Q3 plus Q1 plus 2 median equal to 0, or from here, if you are using the definition of skewness, then what is that? You are going to get, what is that here? Mean minus mode, 3 times of mean minus median divided by, and how they are going to get. So this is your, okay, so this measure is called as the quartile measure of skewness, and it is varies in between plus minus 1. And so this is Bowley's, and we'll use in general, we'll use the Pearson's coefficient of skewness. These are for your reference only. So we don't want to go so much inside. It is not required, just overall definition you need. Okay, the derivation of the things we don't need. So moment is the most important thing here in this section. So moment is the measure of force with respect to its tendency to provide the rotation. The strength of the tendency depends upon the amount of the force and the distance from the origin of the point at which the force is exerted. So let the symbol xi denotes the difference between xi minus x bar to represent the deviation of any item from the mean position. The arithmetic mean for different powers of this deviation is called as the moment. Here this is the most important, the last one. What is that? The arithmetic mean of the various powers of this deviation. See, this deviation you can take degree 1. When we are calculating standard deviation, what we are taking? We are taking the square, so that the deviation will be always positive. You can go for the mod. I said at that time also, the deviations, if it is plus and minus, then if you're adding the total, if you're calculating the mean deviation, if you're adding, then plus minus will be get cancelled, then you may get 0 deviation also. But that is not true. So to handle that thing in standard deviation or in variance, what we are doing? We are taking the square of the deviation, correct or not? So if you are taking square of the deviation, you can go for the power 1 also, you can go for power 3 also, degree 3, you can go for degree 4 also, you can go for different degrees. So that is called the moments, okay? So the arithmetic mean of the various, so you have to take the arithmetic mean is average. So what is the standard deviation formula? Sum of xi minus x bar whole square divided by 2. So divided by n. So that divided by n, that what we are taking, what is that? That is nothing but the arithmetic mean only. Arithmetic mean of degree 2 of the deviation. Getting or not? What is that? Sum of, what is the standard deviation of the variance formula? Sum of xi minus x bar whole square divided by n. So that is nothing but the arithmetic mean of degree 2. Similarly, you can go for degree 3. So here, the first moment is nothing but the degree 1. Arithmetic mean of degree 1 of the deviation. This is nothing but the variance. Arithmetic mean of square of the deviation. Arithmetic mean of cube of the division. Arithmetic mean of the degree 4 of the division. Getting or not? This one is called as the first moment. So very easy. Whatever the variance you are using the formula, in variance you are taking degree 2. Why we are taking degree 2? So that we have to make everything positive. Similarly, if you are taking for degree 3, degree 4, that will be different moments. It will be starting from mu1. Okay. And you know the sum of the deviation from the arithmetic mean is always 0. Mu1 will be always 0. Why? Why mu1 will be always 0? Hello.
Negative and positive deviations cancel each other.
Negative, positively. No, I don't know why you're saying. Just simple calculation is there. Okay. So if you are taking this sum inside, what you will get? You will get sum of xi divided by n. Sum of xi divided by n is what is that? X bar only. Minus this x bar is constant or not?
Yes,
X bar constant. How many times you are adding? You are adding n times. So when you are adding n times that constant, what it will be? N into x bar divided by n. And that n and n will get cancelled from numerator from denominator. So what you are going to get? We are going to get last term as only x bar. And what is the first term? First term is also x bar. So x bar minus x bar is going to be 0 only. Getting enough? Okay. Very simple. You just take the sum inside. Now what is that? So today I'm not using whiteboard. So for that you may face little bit confusion. But see, this is very much straightforward. Sum of xi divided by n. What is that? First term. You see the first term only. Sum of xi divided by n. What is that? X bar or not?
yes.
Minus x bar is constant or not? How many times you are adding? How many times you are adding? You are adding n times. So that is going to be n into x bar divided by n. So n cancelled. So what you are going to get? Only x bar. So the first term is also x bar. Second term x bar. So x bar minus x bar is going to be 0 only. Okay. And if you are having frequency, then you just need to multiply the frequency. Okay, respective frequency you need to multiply. Other than that, nothing else is there. Now, there is a relation also. Conversion of moments about the arbitrary origin to the moments about the mean. So, this is the nothing but the moments about the mean. Let me see. Moments about arithmetic mean. Why it is calling moments about arithmetic mean? Because here the center position is x bar. We are calculating the deviation from the x bar. Getting an so this is called the moments about the arithmetic mean. And if you're taking from arbitrary origin, so this derivation actually we need to calculate. So this is nothing but the mu1 is nothing but the moments about the mean, and here it is nothing but the moments about the arbitrary origin. So the formula, everything is there. So arbitrary origin means that mean if you are having no information, then what we used to take? We used to take arbitrary origin, arbitrary something a, arbitrary mean, and using that step division method. So this is nothing but the division. That deviation is nothing but you calculate that mu1 dash. So this is for arbitrary mean, any arbitrary mean a. This is mu2 dash, mu3 dash, this is mu4 dash. Or if frequency is there, then you just need to multiply. So there is one relation here that if you are doing the calculation, simplification if you are doing, then you are going to get this formula you are going to get. Okay. And this is very useful in while solving the problem. We used to use these formulas. Okay. So whenever some example, if it in this slide example is there, then I'll show you. Otherwise later I'll show you. Okay, how the things are there, how they are related. How they are related means we need to solve some problem to execute those relations. Okay, so these are okay. Here is the one example. So the data are given and the frequency are given. Find the measure of skewness based on the moments. Okay, so here, so you calculate the mean, you calculate the mode. So here you are having, as it is a continuous data, so you have to use the formula to find the mode. Mean also very easy. You just find the middle point of this class interval, then you multiply the frequency, or if you're taking the step deviation method also, okay. So middle point xi fi sum of xi into fi divided by sum of fi. You calculate and you will get the mean position, and mode formula also you know. So you just use those formulas, that L plus that h by f, and that formula is there. So you use that formula to calculate the mode. After calculating the mode, here you are having the measure of skewness is nothing but x bar minus mode, and that is going to get, you are going to get the absolute measure of skewness. Then we need to find the relation among them based on different moments here. So first, what is why here di is written? Because you have to take the one arbitrary mean they have taken. Okay, so arbitrary mean they have taken. That is why they have used the arbitrary mean they have considered as that A, capital A. Okay, this is the arbitrary mean. The arbitrary mean means you have to calculate that mu1 dash. If you are using the actual mean, it will be mu1. If arbitrary mean, it will be mu1 dash. Similarly, for degree 2, it is mu2 dash, mu3 dash, mu4 dash. And so, if you are using those relations, so you are going to get mu2 is nothing but mu1 dash minus mu1 dash. Those relations here it is given. These relations you need to use. Mu2 equal to mu2 dash minus mu1 dash whole square. Mu1 equal to mu1 dash minus mu1 dash. So mu1 is going to be 0. That is obvious. We calculated na that moments about the first moment is always 0. About the mean, first moment is always 0. That you know. So no need to calculate mu1. Mu1 is going to be 0 only. Mu2 is nothing but mu2 dash minus mu1 dash whole square. So here mu2 equal to mu1 dash minus mu1 dash whole square. So here you use the formula and you are going to get, and there also you can use the formula, means that is going to be variance, and that is 145. Similarly, other values also you can get it. And so nobody is going to ask you, but if some questions are coming, then you should be able to solve these problems. Then we are going to discuss the Q ratios. Only see in your syllabus it is clearly mentioned only the what is that concept. Okay, no problem. You can see I'll show you. I think you should have the syllabus. Let me show you. Only it is clearly mentioned for these things. Only you need to understand the concepts only. Let me show you here. So no need to worry for, because it will be little bit complicated for you. Here you can see it is clearly mentioned only concept. Moment, skewness, accuracy, only concept, right? So just overall idea you should have. Still, if you need, then you can solve the problems. So accuracy enables us to have an idea about the flatness or the bigness in the region about the mode of a frequency curve. So convexity of the frequency curve, and it is measured by that coefficient of accuracy is given by beta 2 equal to mu4. Mu4 is nothing but fourth moment about the mean position. Mu2 is nothing but the second moment about the mean position. These are the relations are there, and you are having for different. So when it is your degree of your coefficient of accuracy is 3, and you are going to, it is called as the mesocuratic curve, and when it is less than 3, then it is called the placuratic curve. Then when it is greater than 3, then it is called as the leptocuratic curve. Okay, 3 things are there. So either coefficient of accuracy will be equal to 3, that is the center position, or it may be less than 3, or it may be greater. Less than 3 means left hand side, greater than 3 means that is right hand side. Okay. So here you can see that this one is the, which one is the leptocuretic is greater than 3. So leptocuretic is the highest one. It is having the values greater than 3, and the platycuretic is when it is having less than 3, when the values are less than 3, and the normal is mesocuretic when it is having the center position is 3. So here center position is 3 means it is called as the mesocuretic, or it is called the normal when the center position is, that is the 3. Okay, according to that you can have the graph. So this is just a formula. This formula you just need to know and the basic concept.